In the previous course, we created a new branch called little feature, and this branch has a specification. It has a file that another branch, the main branch, don't get. So what we would like to do now is to create a pull request, and in this short course, I'm going to explain to you what is a pull request, how to create one, and all the options around. Okay, I'm back on the repository. So here, when I click here, I can see all the branches that I got. I got the main branch, I got the little feature branch. Of course, I can also click here on branches to look at the status of the different branch that we've got. Right now, I'm the only person on the repository. So I got only those two branches here. And we can see that we have the default branch, which is the main branch. And we can see that I'm the last person who updated the main branch. Then I got the little feature branch. And if I come back to the repository here, I mean on the main page, we can see that actually the repo that I got here is the main repo. So we can decide which branch is actually the main branch. The convention is that the main branch is the branch called main. Okay, so now that I'm here, I can see here on the top that I got tabs, and I got a tab called pull request. So what I can do is to click here on pull request, and suddenly I arrive on this screen where I can search for pull request, or if I want, I can create here a new pull request. So here we've got a definition. Pull requests help you collaborate on code with other people. As pull requests are created, they will appear here in a searchable and filterable list. So there's a whole guide on pull requests that you can follow if you want to. But me, I'm going to click here on create a new pull request. And when I arrive here, I can see that I have an option. I can compare branches. So remember, here we got two branches, and of course here as an option, so I'm going to zoom a little bit, I can compare one branch to another. So we can see that the base branch is the main branch, okay, and the one I want to compare it to is more little feature. So when I click on little feature, this is what happens. What happens is that I have here one commit, and here we can see that this is the commit of January 14. And if I go down, I can even see which file has changed. And we can see here that we've got this green square, which shows that there is only one line that changed. And on example.txt, it's line 1 called this example text is supposed blah, blah, blah. And what is this pull request going to be? It's going to be a proposal to merge little feature into main. And actually, it's going to be a proposal to add this example.txt file to main. Because right now, main doesn't get this change that I got here. So I'm going to click here on create pull request. And I arrive on this complete form. And this is where most of the time developers are working to give more information about the changes. So remember, Git is made to save different versions of your application, but GitHub is also here to help you to track the history of all the changes. So when you create a pull request, it's going to be on a status open. So until the moment we are going to merge the pull request, the changes are going to stay on little feature. But after that, when we're gonna merge to main, main is going to change. So there will be a new history point. And this pull request is going to be closed or archived, okay? So it's really important to fulfill all the information here to keep track of what you did. Because if there's a bug, probably you want to come back and to look at what you did exactly here. And in order to do so, we need to put as much information as we can. So when we get more information, we are able to debug easily. So here I can add a title, and here the title that I got basically is the title of the commit, okay? So most of the time I'm going to give you some best practice in here. We need to prefix the title. That's what I'm doing. So let me give you some example. The first example is to say, hey, here I'm adding a feature. So basically you can type feature add example.txt. Okay, so here we can see that this is a pull request that is adding a feature. Otherwise, if it's about a fix, you would add fix like this. And if you prefix all the time all your pull requests, it would be easier to find later the pull request that you are looking for. Probably you will look for a fix, probably you will look for a feature depending on what you did. But yes, that's the main point. Otherwise, if it really touched to the heart of the project, you can type core and here add example. Okay, that's a first step. There's a lot of convention. Let me try to find a good guide for you to learn this convention. All right, the first guide is on GitHub and pull request. And here we got pull request documentation. And we can see here that we got several articles. There's an amazing article on FreeCodeCamp by Tano-chan, how to make your first pull request on GitHub. And here you got an entire guide that you can follow if you want to. It's basically the whole course that I'm doing. But here there is an entire guide written in here to help you to understand how you can make your first pull request. Okay, so let's get back. I'm going to type fit and I'm going to type add example.txt. Also here, what I can do at first here is to assign myself to the pull request. So we will know that it's me that is assigned to the pull request. Of course, if there are other members, I can add other members. And if there is a reviewer, I can add a reviewer. So of course here, I cannot add myself as a reviewer because this is my pull request. But this is what we can do. So here, what I can do is to clear the assignees. So I'm going to go here and type clear the assignees. So of course, the reviewers will be the person that will say it's okay to merge. If they have comments, they will be able to put comments on the code and you will be notified through the notification system of GitHub to tell you, hey, somebody left a message on this to change your code. So you got the system of labels, and here the system of labels, it's a little bit exactly like the prefixing of your pull request. So basically here it's going to be, you got some basic label at first here, but let's say that I'm going to create a new feature label. So I'm going to type here. What I can do is also to change the color, give a description. I'm going to click on save. Project, if you want to, you can put all your pull requests in different projects here. Projects, if you want to put your pull request into a project, it's also possible. Milestone, we're going to see that probably later, and that's it. Now in here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write actually a short description of my pull request. If you want to, this is another tips, you can use what we call templates for pull requests. And those templates can be automatically added to a repository. I'm going to show you that probably later in the course, but it's always good not to put a simple message like, hello, I added the file example.txt, okay? Here, this is cool. We can read that, but when you got a whole text really long to read, it's boring, right? So basically, what you should do is to do something really short like this. Added example.txt file, for instance. Then what you can add here, fixed the banner, okay? And this is basic, okay? Updated npm package, okay? So here, the example that I'm showing you, it's really for juniors, okay? You can go really deeper into the description of a pull request. The more and more experience you will get, the more and more time you will spend on GitHub, the better the description you want it to be. It has to be really short to explain the problem and what you touched. For instance, like I can say removed component /button.tsx, for instance, okay? So now we've got this kind of description. We're good. So we're gonna start with this pull request, and of course you can edit the pull request as much as you want. And if we go down here, we have the resume we already saw. So I'm gonna click on create pull request, but here we can see that we can also create what we call a draft pull request, which means that you don't want to publish right now the pull request. You want to publish it later. So here I don't care. I'm going to click on create pull request. And what's happening in here is that I arrive on the screen where the pull request is open. And we can see here on the top that I got one pull request waiting. Let me switch to another repo to show you. Here we are on Vue.js, and we can see here on the top that we've got 251 pull requests waiting for the repository of Vue.js. So if I click here on this pull request, we can see exactly what I explained to you, core, fix, with some other references about projects and problematics linked to Vue.js. And if I click to one pull request, for instance, we can see here that we got exactly what I was talking about. We've got more description about the pull request. We can see here that we've got one commit that we can look, and if we click to it, we can see that we have files that have been changed, etc., etc. So as you can see, there can be a lot of pull requests on a project waiting, and those ones are all open. Here we can see all the closed pull requests of Vue.js. So if I click on close, we can see that there's all these pull requests that have been closed. And here we can see that with this purple icon that this pull request has been merged. But this one has been closed. And if we go down, we got a lot of pull requests. Let's get back to my pull request. Here we've got the conversation, we've got the commit, we've got the checks, and we don't got anything that checks for now. Probably we can add some later. We have the resume of the file change, and there we go. So as we can see here, we've got the history, vertical history of the pull request, and we got here added the feature label 2 minutes ago. We got the full history. So if somebody is going to do something, it's going to appear here. Hello, this is my first pull request. And if I had this comment, okay, we can see here that my comment has been added to the history. Okay, so let's go. Let's now try to click on here and look at it, because here, I got the option to merge the pull request. If you don't get the button, it means that on the repository, you worked on the settings and you said, hey, only reviewers can merge a pull request. We do that in order to prevent people to merge everything to a project. And this is really important, that on every project, you have somebody that takes care about what we merge, okay? This is really important. Okay, so here we can see that we got several options before merging. So let's look at this option together. We can definitely click on merge pull request, and here it's going to trigger the create a merge commit event. So all the commits from the branch will be added to the base branch with a merge commit. So here we are just going to add the example.txt file. Then we've got squash and merge. So the one commit from this branch will be added to the base branch. We're going to see what is squash later and what implies actually the action of squash and merge. And we've got rebase and merge. The one commit for the branch will be rebased and added to the base branch. Rebase here, we're just going to see that after. It means that actually we will get back on the history point of the main branch. Okay, so we rebase, we come back to the base. So I'm going to click on merge pull request, and here I will have actually a title that I can change of the event and a text of the event. And I'm going to click on confirm merge. And what's happening in here, we can see that now I'm on purple, it's written merged, pull request successfully merged and closed. So I got the option to delete the branch if I want to, or I can keep it. So if I come back to the code now and I look at main, suddenly on main, I got here, and we can see that 19 hours ago I added this example.txt. I have the example.txt file. However, if I come back to my project and I check out main, okay, we can see here that my branch is behind origin main by 2 commits and can be fast forwarded. Use git pull to update your local branch. And we can see here that my main project doesn't get here example txt, my local project, sorry, from main. So what I need to do is to type git status, for instance. And when I type git status, I can see if I'm late or not. And we can see that my branch is behind origin main. So I'm going to type git pull. And what git pull is doing, git pull is going to pull the changes that are currently merged on the main branch. Currently. So be safe. If you got changes on the main branch and you didn't commit them, you will get what we call conflicts. So here I'm going just to git pull. And what's happening in here? My project has been synchronized. So what you need to do all the time, you need to often pull the changes from a branch if you want to have an updated project. So congratulations, you learn how to create pull requests. Now there are many cases that we need to see together, but you understood how to push your changes from a branch to another one.